Hi, glad you came back. We're still working on this little stream here that's down in Pine Grove Cemetery. And it's dry, and we can do some glazing and work on the trees, put some limbs in there. So let's get started with a little bit of glazing. Out here, the green tree is a little bit too green. I think we'll change that up a little bit. Let's see, get a place over here. This is my colors: titanium white, cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, alizarin crimson, cad red, liquid, Thayer blue, French ultramarine blue, brass sienna, and Van Dyke brown. Okay, so let's take some of this liquid over here. A little bit more, and a touch alizarin crimson. There we go. Yeah, this is nice and light, because we're just going to shade a little bit. Maybe a little bit more brown here. We just want to darken a little bit back there. Try it over here. Let's see how this works. Let's see what do we got here. So we got the sun coming in this way. So we just want to give the illusion of shadow. You wouldn't see a lot of shadow back there, but you wouldn't see an even green like we have. So we'll break that up a little bit. There we go. Whoa, that's a little dark there. We'll fix that though. There we go. Put a little bit there. That's what fingers are for. Ah. There we go. And we'll do a little bit over here. There we go. Okay, now same down here. We got to put some shadows type of stuff here, but I think I'll use a touch more red on this one. Let's see what we get here. Yeah. All right, we'll do that here. I just want to break this up a little bit. I don't want an even brown, even red, or anything like that. Okay, and I want to darken it a little bit more. French ultramarine blue again. Let me get down here a little bit. I just want to darken that up a little bit down here. You see, I'm going through the tree, but that's all right. We're going to paint over the tree. We're even going to put some bark on the tree, on some of the trees, the up ones, the ones that are up close. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's looking somewhat better. There you go. You got to try things. You know, I remember the first time I started doing some glazing, I thought, oh, it was a little bit scary. I made a mistake. I was at the point like, this stuff isn't for me. You got to be Da Vinci or something to know how to use it. But you keep trying it, and then you get used to it, and you say, hey, I think I know where I could use that. And then the more you use it, the more you get familiar with it, and the better you are with it. Just another tool in your toolbox when you're painting. Just like watching some artist on YouTube or a book or something. Everything you pick up is another tool in your toolbox. The more tools you got in your toolbox, the more fun you can have. Absolutely, that's it. Okay. I'm happy with that. Now we got to put some of these lighter trees in the back, but they're not this gray. They're a lighter gray. So we're going to make up some gray. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll get a brush here, a little bit of medium, which is terps, well, odorless terps. And we'll come up here and we'll see how this works. Yeah, it's a little bit too light. All right. There we go. That's a good one there. And we don't want to make toothpicks either. And by that I mean straight up like that. I think I'll use a finer brush than that. Let me try this one. There we go. Put some over there. Yeah, that doesn't look so vacant over there. Ah, that's good. Now we're going to put some more limbs up on the trees that are closer to us. Okay, so we're going to have to darken it up again. So we'll add a little bit of blue. Smells crimson here. Get that in there. Yeah. And we'll continue on with our little leaves, little branches. All right. Now this one here is going to come up and it's going to go like that. This one here will come up like that. There we go. Maybe one comes over here like that. This one here can come up more. Let's see, what else? This one here. Let's tighten this one up there. Some of these over here. There we go. Okay. Now we got to darken this up again some more. Let's see. This tree here, this has something going on over there. And this one going over there. This one goes up in here. And we'll have one coming over here. Right up in there. Actually, that's a little bit too dark. A little bit too much there, Verne. Let's lighten it up some. There we go. Let's take this and put a branch right over here. And there you go. Branch out like that. This big one we won't put any. This one here, let's take one and put it up here. We're gonna, again, we're going to paint that tree there, so that will be hidden. No problem. No problem. Actually, that's probably fine. I just don't like the way that tapers off there. All right. We need some more branches in here. So I think this tree's going to come around like that, and one's going to come up here like that. Okay. Let's see, what do we got here? We got some more branches coming off this tree here. There we go. Yeah, that looks more like it. Okay. Now we've done that. Okay. Now, let's make some bark. We can take this right here, what we got. Can you see that? Got the paint on there. Now what this here is, we're going to push that up there. We don't want this to be, I want this to look more like marble. That's how I like to, we'll push that up there like that. And we'll come over here. So this way here, we're getting the color and we're getting the texture, the thickness of the paint. And that helps to give the illusion, again, illusion, to look like this is a real bark or tree. Get a little closer, or smaller branches, I'll have to switch to a smaller knife. Now if I go outside the lines a little bit, I'm not worried. It's all right. It makes it more, as long as I don't go too far out, it enhances the effect of bark. Bark's usually pretty rough. Beech trees can be smooth, pretty smooth. Pine got the real texture to it. Maple has some texture. You see some of the old maple trees, the bark's curled off and pretty dramatic. Okay, now I'll come back to this one after. That's good enough for now. Go down here. I'll finish that little bit down there with a brush. Now let's see, what's another tree? We'll do this tree here. Here we go. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take and add a little different color. Get some of that yellow ochre in here. And on the big tree, we're going to do this. Now the light's coming from this side, so we'll use it, make it a little lighter for that side. And we'll come up here, and we'll just touch it here and there. There we go. Maybe a little bit more white here. See, I'm not trying to be too exact. play with it, mold it, whatever you think works. And we'll do some more on this side. As the sun's coming up that side there. Now, we use thicker paint like this. You want to keep back in your mind that it takes longer to dry. This thick pastel, thick paint. It'll take longer to dry. Yeah. Now we'll just gently mold this now. Okay, so now we got this tree to do. And we'll take some of this light color. We'll put a little bit on here too. We're just trying to lay it on there for now. We'll mold it after we get it on there. Do some on the other side. This tree here. We have a bit of, my knife's kind of big, but we'll see. See how steady my hand is today. That's really too much texture. I'll have to fix that. All right, I'll fix that right now. There we go. And I did fix it really good, didn't I? Yeah. Let me let me get this out here. There you go. You would never know. There we go. Now, this side here. Just get that out a little bit. Bump out. Kind of blend it in a little bit. Now, so we can also take some, add some blue. Some crimson, darken it up a little bit, put some color to it. There we go. Now the darker side, flatten that out a little bit. There we go. We'll just put it up here. There we go. There. There we go. Now we'll just mold that around a little bit. Get on this side. Just mold it a little bit there. And we'll get the effect of texture of the bark. Now actually the bark's not quite that textured, but it's good. It's contrast with the smooth background. It makes that come up forward. All right, so now we got that done. Over here, there's a little bit of a road, and we got the right paint out. We just have to lighten it up. Take it over here. There we go. That's a little too, that's about right. Now, get the brush out. We'll put that road in. It's not much of a road, but goes over here. I think that's a little too light. Let's darken that up a little bit. Yeah, it looks better. And the road comes right around here. And it goes over there. There we go. Now, we'll lighten that up just a little bit for in here, because there's going to be leaves and stuff here. And we'll dark some areas here. Kind of random, you know, we're not painting by numbers here, so you can be the judge of how much and how, where, and as long as you follow the rules of nature, if you want to make it look like a natural one, or if you have plans of doing something that's more abstract, then you got less restrictions. You can do it that way too. Need a little bit more red over here. There we go. But when you start painting and you're just flowing with it, you're having a good time, that's the best, I'll tell you. You won't want to stop, and you look at the clock and, oh my goodness, I've missed supper. Well, not very often anyway. But I will paint until things go south or my stomach growls too loud. Okay. Now this continues up here a little bit, but it has a little bit of green to it. So, you know what makes green? Now this is too strong a green. I'll add some of this muck I got over here. Maybe some of that. There we go. There we go. Let's put some of that in here. There we go. Yeah. Now this area right in here is just too evenly green. We're going to have to, easy does it, but we're going to have to break it up a little bit. Just a little. Maybe make it in there, a little bit there. Here we go. And the same thing over here. We're going to have to, well, that's more red, all right? So we'll go over here in the red. But we just want to very lightly show that this is not a perfect shade. And now this one here, we're going to add some of that brown in there. Bring that over. There we go. Now, of course, you can add to this and work on it more and more until you get it to a degree of finished, completion, however you want to say it. Anyway, get it to where you think it should be. Now touch that. Sometimes just taking a paper towel and daubing it, you can change the whole appearance of what you did. And hopefully it's changed for the better. Same thing here. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to daub it, like dab it, daub it, however you want to call it. There we go. That helps with the illusion. I guess you could say an artist is a magician with a brush. Makes illusions. Tries to make you see what he wants you to see. Or feel. Maybe that's better explanation. The artist tries to make you see what he felt. Maybe feel the same. Steady there, old boy. Here we go. Now we're going to dab this. That changed it a bit, hasn't it, huh? Changed it, hopefully for the better. I think I'll bring this out a little bit. Like that, yeah. Bring this up in here a little bit. Yeah. Here we go. Now, we got reflection. We can't forget that. So, we're going to grab some of this color. Got to bring this down. And then that's a brush I forgot. That's a brush that I forgot, but that's all right. We will improvise. There we go. And I'll put a little light color up here to show that that's water. And I think we're going to need to I think we're going to cut this tree off right here. We're going to cut that tree off right there. There we go. He was stuck, he was in the water. Now it's a reflection. See, not magic, huh? All right, we'll do it a little bit there. Take this. There we go. All right. Now, let me get a touch of this. And slightly across there. Maybe a little bit up here. There we go. Okay, now we got a little bit of darkness in here. Because this is a little bit dark here. We just want to give an illusion of a little step. Okay. And we will give a little illusion over here of a little step. A little ridge there. I used to walk around this area of the cemetery, even in the winter. It's nice and peaceful, but you can see the geese come around and swim around here, and the birds are singing in the summertime and spring. It's quite nice. Let's give this tree a base for its tree trunk. Lay him down here, same with this one. Okay, we're going to give him a base. Trees are not telephone poles. They have they branch out in the bottom. There we go. We'll give him a little more leg room over there. Okay, this one here, let's do a little bit like that. There we go. Okay, now we can't leave that tree quite like that. We're going to have to do a little something there to enhance it. There we go. Do a little here, just to give it a little variety. Bob Ross might say, this guy's jealous of the other guys. He wants some texture too. All right, and we come over here. We do some of this here, right here. There we go. Just a little bit, just a suggestion that the tree is round and it's not flat. Same thing here, we do Just want to give the illusion that the light's hitting it a little bit, and it's round. We can't do it all the way back, but these here would work. This one here, I was going to cut that tree off, but I think I'll leave it. I'll leave it there. All right. Now let me take a little bit of darker stuff, maybe a little bit of blue, and I'm going to put that in there. There we go. A little dark there. And we're going to give this guy some roots. We'll put this coming down like that. Same with this guy. Okay, I'm going to take off that little spot, and I'll show you how I do that. Try to lift that paint off there if we can. Clean the brush. Here we can do it like that. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of shadows. Clean our palette knife. Let's get some room here. So we'll get back to glazing. And we're going to take a little bit of Van Dyke brown. That's too much of that. Too much alizarin crimson there. French ultramarine blue, which we are making, is a purple, actually. If I take a little bit of this green, that'll darken it up. Now I don't want this to be thick like paint. This is going to be a thin glaze because I want the background to show through a little bit. And to be honest, usually I do it when it's all dry, so I'll have to be a little bit careful today. All right. Because sometimes I would let the painting dry before I continued. All right, so the sun's over here, coming down here, we're going to have shadows right there. I'm going to have shadows from this tree over here. Need to darken that. This is going to have a shadow. Then we'll have a shadow from this tree. Going to go right over there. Makes it a little bit more difficult when the paint's wet. And this tree's going to come right across there. We have a trance there. And this tree here is going to have a shadow down here. And then it's going to come across here. Just like that. That's the shadow. You're not leaning the right way, Verne. Let's try to get this right. I touched into something there. Yes. Come on, there we go. There's a shadow there. This has a shadow. Right here. Oh, that's a dark shadow there. Dark shadows. Ooh, spooky. Okay. We'll have some shadows going across here. Shadows going over here. These will have a shadow. The shadow's going across the road. That's going to be hard because that's wet paint. And we'll just try it. There we go. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. So you get to see all the mistakes too. All right. Now, let's do some reflections. You know, when you ever notice, the reflections will follow you as you walk. Whatever's giving you a reflection, you walk over here, you'll see the reflection. However, shadow stays. If the shadow's this way, and you look at it, and it's horizontal. You could walk over here, and it'll be facing you. And you walk over there, it'll be behind you. Whereas a reflection follows you. Most of the time, anyway. All right, so we're going to have a reflection of this tree coming down. And reflections are darker than the object. They're darker than the object. And this kind of branches out. That, we'll do it like that. There we go. This has a reflection here. However, we'll do that. And the tape is off. And this one here, of course, is going to have a reflection. Going to be going right over here. And then it'll branch off over here like that. Got to make up some more reflection. So we'll go back to a little bit of alizarin crimson. Potent, very potent, alizarin crimson. It's a little dab will do you on that. That's why you see me just barely touching it. Yeah. Okay. Now, as somebody once said on TV, shoot, let's have some fun. Let's put some leaves on these trees. Even though it doesn't have any to speak of, doesn't mean we can't put them there. We got that license, we ought to use it. I'll clean this brush off. Take care of your brushes. Make sure that you always clean them and don't leave finished for the night and think you're going to clean them afterwards, because you'll forget. And you'll come back the next day and you'll have a couple of palette knives instead of brushes. Ask me how I know that. So you have to clean up. It's the least fun, but you have to clean up. All right. So now we're going to have to mix up some leaf color, and I like to use some Indian red for my leaf colors, for this one anyway. Now again, Indian red is as strong as alizarin crimson, even stronger. This is very potent color. It'll change whatever you put with it drastically. So be gentle with that. So we're going to put there's some leaves there, not many, but they are there. Let's see if we can't dull them up a little bit. So we'll put some blue, Indian red, touch of Indian yellow. We're going to have a lot of Indian paint on here. See, that's just that just eats right up that yellow without any change. Try it again over here. Wow. That paint is strong. Let's get some yellow in here. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, that's a little better. I don't want bright yellow because you can see most of the leaves are gone, so what leaves are left aren't very bright. They're kind of dull. All right. Let's see. Bob Ross had a magic brush. I got a magic sponge. Well, now let's put some leaves here. Not too many. Just going to dab it up there. Maybe there's some over here. Just a few. There we go. Some maybe back here a little bit. Not all the trees have a bunch of leaves, just some. But there would be leaves on the ground, so we can put some. And they would be in the water too. So let's put some leaves in the water. There we go. And I'm putting them on top of the reflection because the leaves wouldn't reflect the tree, but the water does. So you put your reflection down first, put your paint on top of that, and it'll look like the leaves are floating on top of the reflection. Okay, let's put some over here. We can mix it up a little bit. Let's put some red. Maybe one of the trees had red leaves. Instead of Indian red, we're going to use a brighter red. All right. Let's put some brighter red ones here. There. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's put that, run that up here a little bit too. Put some over here as well. Yeah, I like what's happening here with that. Let's take some leaves and put them right there. So we got some red leaves hanging around. We're going to have to make some red leaves in the trees, aren't we? Huh? So let's do that. Let's put some there. Okay, there would be some down here in the water, like that. All right. And there would be some over here in the water. Some over there. There would be some there too. Yeah. That's looking good. Let's put some leaves on this side too. There we go. Leaves would be all over the place, even on the road. Now, this is where I got to be careful because I'll go until I ruin it. Yeah, you have to stop sometime, somehow. You know, no matter how difficult it is. Enough is enough. That's it. Behave. Okay, now I'll put that down. Where would I put that down? Over there, I guess. We're not done yet. We have to put the little branches in the reflection too. That's what we have to do. Okay. I think I'm going to need a little bit more liquid. Let me get a little more liquid out there. And again, we're going to use alizarin crimson. There we go with this. And some a little too red still. Add some more blue. That's more like it. And I get that my special liner brush. Put that in there. All right, now the trees, the limbs are going like that, but in reflection they're going to be going the opposite. So we got to keep that in mind. And you can see that's too dark, too thick. So we're going to have to thin that out a little bit. There we go. Let's see how this works out. There, that's somewhat better. All right. That's two. All right. What do you think of that? Look all right? Yeah. I think that's fine. I think that's good. We could. Yeah, let's not go too crazy, but let's take this here. See if we can add just a little extra. We'll give the eye a little extra treat here. See if we can't, I'm wiping off the red on that. Getting in this, if I can get into this here. What do we do if we, there we go. There we go. All right, let's call that one done. I think it's done. That's it. So, just try things. Step out of your box. Get a picture that you like and give it a shot. Just for you, don't show it to anybody, and try something different on it. Try a little bit of glazing, try a little bigger brush, try the palette knife, try wiping off a little bit here, a little bit there, and see what happens when you do that. Like in the sky, when you get the blue up there, take a rag and wipe some of the blue away, and you can get some nice clouds. There's all kinds of different things that just happen. Like, you know, these mistakes you go on and you see it and you say, oh, well, that looks good. Leave it. That's going to be okay. And you can, like I'm doing now, you can putter around, oh my goodness, for days, if you wanted to. But you got to call it quits at some time. But step out there, get your paints out, and grab a brush. See you next time. Bye.